The rain against the glass of the estate always sounded like static to me. White noise to drown out the world. But nothing could drown out Marcus. You look like you slept in that suit, Kael. I watched my brother adjust his silk cufflinks in the reflection of the window. He was the golden boy, the CEO of Vane Dynamics, the man who took our father's legacy and plated it in gold. I was just the shadow in the corner of the room. "It's clean, Marcus," I said, my voice low. I learned a long time ago that it's easier to be the disappointment than the competition. Dad would be mortified, he spat, not even looking at me. I built an empire. You dropped out of MIT to tinker with junk in the basement. Just do me a favor. Tonight, don't speak. Don't try to be smart. Just stand there and try not to look like a mistake. I looked at my hands. They were calloused from keyboards and soldering irons. I'll stay out of the way. It wasn't a lie. I've spent my entire adult life staying out of the way. Marcus thought I left MIT because I couldn't hack the calculus. He didn't know I left because I was recruited. He didn't know that while he was selling firewalls to banks, I was the one building the invisible architecture that kept the banks from collapsing. He knew me as KL, the burnout. The NSA knew me as Zero, the Tier 1 asset called in when nations decided to stop playing nice. I carried secrets that would crush Marcus's chest, and I carried the heaviest one of all, that I let him believe I was worthless, just so he could shine. The Global Defense Summit was loud, too loud, a sea of diamonds and ego. I walked 3 steps behind Marcus, watching his back. It was instinct. Always check the perimeter. Always watch the blind spots. And Marcus was laughing, shaking hands, drunk on his own importance. I felt that familiar, comfortable invisibility wrapping around me, until the air changed. The room went quiet, a hush rippling outward from the double doors. General Alistair Thorne had arrived, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, the Iron Wall. Marcus stood taller, preening. "Watch this," he whispered to me. "General Thorne." Marcus stepped forward, hand extended, wearing his $1,000,000 smile. Marcus Vane, an honor to... Thorne walked through him. He didn't even break stride. Marcus was left standing there, hand gripping empty air, his smile faltering into confusion. Thorne stopped directly in front of me. For a second, I wanted to run. This was the breach. This was the moment the two worlds collided. But I couldn't move. Thorne didn't smile. He snapped his heels together, his posture rigid, and he saluted. It was a field salute, sharp, respectful, deferential. "Seer," Thorne said. The word hung in the silence like a gunshot. "We didn't expect you in the open." I felt the weight of 100 stares. I felt Marcus's gaze burning into the side of my face. I let the mask slip, just a fraction. I wasn't the little brother anymore. "At ease, Alistair," I said quietly. "It's a social call." Thorne relaxed, dropping the salute to shake my hand. "Understood. The agency sends its regards, Zero." I saw Marcus's face then. It wasn't just shock. It was a total collapse of understanding. The brother he knew had just evaporated. But we didn't have time for the fallout. The ballroom speakers screeched, a high-pitched digital tear that made people cover their ears. The massive presentation screens turned black, then flashed a pixelated skull. System Purge inadiated, a synthetic voice boomed. "Source, Vane Dynamics." The room erupted. Security details drew weapons. I saw the accusation shift instantly to Marcus. "He's bridging the defense grid," someone screamed. "It's a Vane admin key." "No." Marcus shouted, his voice cracking. 2 agents grabbed him, forcing his arms behind his back. I don't even know how. It's a mistake." He looked at me, his eyes wide and wet with terror. He looked like a child. "Kael, tell them! I didn't do this!" The screen showed a countdown. "Nuclear protocols, 60 seconds. I didn't think. I just moved." "Let him go," I said. I didn't shout, but my voice cut through the panic. I walked to the main console. The technician there was freezing up, typing nonsense. I gently pushed him aside. "Kael, get away from there." Marcus cried, struggling. "You're gonna make it worse." I looked at Thorne. "Code Black 7, override authorization." Thorne nodded immediately. "Granted." My hands hit the keys and the world slowed down. The noise of the crowd faded. It was just me and the code. I could see the structure of the attack. It was clumsy, brutish, but effective. They were tunneling through a vulnerability in Marcus's latest software update. A backdoor he had been too arrogant to patch. I wasn't fighting the code, I was dismantling it. I wove the kill switch, routed the signal back to the source, and flooded their servers with junk data. "You're going too fast," the technician whispered beside me. "I'm just getting started," I muttered. Enter. The screens flickered, the skull vanished, the red emergency lights died, replaced by the warm glow of the chandeliers. "Threat neutralized," I said, my voice flat. "And the source in the Urals has been bricked. They won't recover." I closed the laptop and stepped back into the silence. The agents released Marcus. He stumbled, rubbing his wrists. He looked at the screen, then at Thorne, and finally, he looked at me. CE was I'll never forget. It was the death of his superiority. "You," Marcus whispered. "You're Zero? The ghost coder?" "Yay," I said, feeling suddenly very tired. "Why?" He sounded broken. "Why let me treat you like that?" I really looked at him. I saw the insecurity beneath the tailored suit. I saw the fear of being ordinary. "Because Dad built the hardware, Marcus. But someone had to make sure the world was safe enough for you to sell it." "We have a car waiting, sir," Thorne interrupted softly. I nodded. I turned to leave, but I stopped one last time. I didn't hate Marcus. I just couldn't be what he needed me to be anymore. "Check your ego, Marcus," I said, not with malice, but with a quiet, sad resolve. "And patch the back door in the update. I won't be there to save you next time." So I walked out into the rain. It didn't sound like static anymore. It sounded like applause, washing away the person I used to pretend to be.